Hey team, this is Nathan Pennington from RunDreamAchieve.com. Today's topic is how to be mentally tough in running. And it's not an easy process, I'll tell you. It's a process that takes several months and several years to get mentally callous to do what it is you're wanting to do as a middle to long distance runner. I think to prepare mentally and to train mentally, I think is a highly overlooked concept in terms of preparing for middle to long distance races, because we spend so much of our time preparing physically for our events, when it is the mental piece is what really will dictate you going from average to great. And being mentally tough and how to be mentally tough in running, I think one of the biggest things that helped me over the years was studying what were the best middle to long distance runners doing. How did they think? What were they doing prior to their preparation? Were they wasting time? Were they running too many of their miles too slow? The common characteristics I would see over and over and over again from athletes that were doing the types of that were running the types of times I was going for were they didn't spend too much time on disappointments. If they had a bad race or a bad workout, they were very quick to get over that obstacle. These athletes are very driven to the point where they know that success, to become successful in middle to long distance running, you have to also accept the failures along the way. And I think one of the biggest problems that middle to long distance runners have is a lot of times we spend too much time on things that are outside of our control. If you have a bad workout or a bad race, you can't do anything about the past. You can make the changes, what went right, what went wrong, and make sure that whatever went wrong in your prior races, that you don't continue to make those same mistakes over and over and over again. And Billy Mills said it best. He was the 1964 Olympic gold medalist. He won the Olympic gold medal at the 1964 Tokyo Olympics. And he said the subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between reality or imagination. So your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference whether you're currently a 60-minute 5K athlete or you are a 15-minute 5K athlete. You have to continually mentally rehearse what it is you're wanting to do. If you're trying to run a specific time, you need to mentally spend time, 10 to 15 minutes each day, preferably prior to, when you first get up in the morning. I do it over the years. I always would do it prior to going to bed at night. I would, turn off all devices and just focus in on spend time visualizing what it is you're trying to do. We all have our own goals. We all have something in our lives that we want and we desire and we want to go after. Most of middle to long distance runners that I know over the years, and you're probably one of them, most of the time they have a time goal they have in mind, or maybe they want to lose weight. But most oftentimes it's some kind of specific race time they're going for, or maybe they're trying to qualify for the Boston Marathon. It's not just the physical training that makes you great in this sport. It's a big part of it, there's no question. But mentally rehearsing and mentally training and spending time visualizing what it is you're trying to do and doing that consistently over a long period of time, consistently. I'm not talking about just interested in doing it. You are locked in. And to distance yourself from the other athletes around you that are not paying attention to this particular topic is going to take you from being an average or good athlete to a superior great athlete. It was one of the biggest pieces of my own preparation of how I eventually ran under 2 hours and 20 minutes for the marathon, running under 51 minutes for 10 miles. I ran 50-54 for 10 miles, 14-18 for 5K on the roads. All of those efforts, running 2:19:35 for the marathon, those efforts came from a long drive, a long period of time where I was consistently preparing mentally as well as physically. When I was a 2:43 marathoner, I already knew that I could break 2 hours and 22 minutes. That was my goal. I knew I could do it. I just didn't know when I was going to do it, and I didn't know how long it was going to take. Well, it took me really from 1992 all the way to 2007 to achieve that goal. And very few athletes I have known over the years were willing to train for that long of a period of time. The problem is is we want the event, we want the results, we want, we want our hard work, we want we want to see the results of our hard work come to fruition. And the problem is we underestimate the amount of time it takes in order to achieve what it is we're wanting to do. Now, I really believe in working smarter rather than harder. Okay, I already know how to work hard. I already know athletes that I've known over the years that already know how to work hard, but they don't always get the results they're looking for. You need to work using leverage. Leverage simply means doing more with less. And so if you want to make that next jump as a middle to long distance runner, you have to start spending time training mentally. If you look at any world-class athlete, most of these endurance athletes, whether they're wrestlers or they're they're skiers or endurance athletes, middle to long distance runners, we visualize. You see a lot of times, and I would watch too with Olympic athletes, I would watch how they're focusing on their movements, that they're, bobsled is a key. They would focus, you'd see these athletes prior to the start of their downhill effort, they would be, steering the bobsled with their eyes closed. And I've always watched that. I'm like, okay, that is a key piece. That is a key area that a lot of my competitors in middle to long distance running are not paying attention to. So how to be mentally tough in running is you study what the best middle to long distance runners are doing. And a big part of it is mental training, and you duplicate their work habits. You duplicate their work efforts. So it's not easy. Mentally training is it's visualization. It's spending time 10 to 20 minutes each day over several weeks and several months, and not skipping one day of this. Okay, you cannot just be lukewarm when it comes to this, because if you're wanting to be great at this event or your particular event, whether you're middle distance or long distance runners, you have to take it up a notch. You have to be paying attention to the other areas of your preparation that I guarantee you've overlooked in the past, and your competition's not paying attention to. Your competition's paying attention to the physical training, the track workouts, the road sessions, as should you. There's no question about it. You can't just mentally rehearse, spend time, visualizing what you want to do, and not putting any of the physical work. I mean, that's a quick way to failure, in my opinion. You have to have a combination of both the physical preparation as well as the mental training and the mental preparation that goes into performing at the next level. Over the years, I knew that for me to perform at the elite level, to run under what my goal was, 2 hours and 22 minutes, which in 2007 was a 2008 USA Track and Field Olympic Trials A standard or B standard time. And I would never have not only broken 2:22, but I ran under 2 hours and 20 minutes because of this particular method. I was always zeroed in, thinking about what I wanted to do, as should you. You need to be, throughout the day, if you need to write down your goals, write it down on a sticky pad, put it on your desk, write it down on paper, put it in your purse or put it in your wallet, pull it out and visualize, realize, okay, this is what I'm going for. I'm not just half-assing this effort. I'm going to physically prepare, and I'm going to mentally prepare. And I know the mental preparation is even more important than the physical preparation, because this one piece, how to be mentally tough in running, is I think the most important aspect of preparation and not only middle to long distance running success, but not only that, but long-term success, because you have to. It's a process. Again, this is why I made that video on event versus process. Go back and watch that. It's about 25 minutes long. It's probably the most important video I made on this channel. And it goes through some of the key concepts of mental training. Like I said, the subconscious mind, and Billy Mills said it best, subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between reality or imagination. So if you haven't achieved what you're wanting to do yet as a middle to long distance runner, just know, if you're persistent, consistent enough, and you do it and you believe in what you're doing, and you're preparing well below your goal race pace that you have in mind, and you're willing to do this over a long period of time, you're coachable, you're paying attention to the areas of your preparation that your competition more than likely is neglecting, which is mental training for sure, hydration and long runs, getting enough sleep, setting up your training the way an elite athlete would set up their training. Again, you study what successful people are doing and you duplicate their work habits. I know it's easier said than done, but that is kind of how, that is one of the key pieces of how to not only physically prepare, but mentally prepare for your races. Study what these athletes are doing that have already done what you want to do and duplicate what they're doing. Yes, you may have to, change up your paces as compared to somebody that's run maybe 2 minutes faster than you in the 5K. Okay, that's a given. You have to adjust your workouts, but you can do the similar types of workouts that they're doing. If they're getting results, then just adjust the paces and duplicate how they're setting up their training. Mental training is key. It's what it's one of the key preparation tactics that I've seen with the elite athletes I've trained with over the years. So I hope this video on how to be mentally tough in running and just talking over these topics gives you a better sense of what you need to be thinking about. Consistent action over a long period of time, seeing what you want to do in your mind's eyes first, and preparing mentally on a daily basis. If you have a fast goal time in mind, it's going to be challenging. It's going to hurt physically, it's going to hurt mentally, but you have to prepare your mind well in advance so you can get to a point where you've not only set up your physical training properly, but you're going into your taper phase where you start to rest and you start to recover, and your body starts to really become strong and callous from all that hard work. But you also start to really see the benefits of all those months of mentally rehearsing, seeing yourself performing wonderful in the race, seeing yourself crossing the finish line with the time, under the time that you had in mind. I cannot say enough about this topic. Mental training is absolutely, it's powerful. It's powerful. Do not neglect it. Continue to pay attention to how you're setting up your training. There are resources below all my videos on RunDreamAchieve.com as well. If you want a new training program or a new running course, definitely check those resources out. And there's plenty of free content as well on here on the channel, as well as on the website. So if there's anything else I can help you out with, feel free to leave me a comment below this video. Give me a like if you appreciate the video. I appreciate that as well. Helps the channel grow. Continue to keep me posted on how you all are preparing and racing and what is going right and what's going wrong. Let me know how you guys are doing. I love hearing from you all on a consistent basis. Continue to see yourself performing exactly how you want to perform well in advance. That way when you get to your goal race, you've already rehearsed over and over again. You've prepared physically, you've tapered correctly, you've paid attention to your nutrition, you've stopped by nutritiongeeks.com if that's nutrition. Hopefully, I guarantee you if anybody's watching this video, they're highly motivated. You're already highly motivated individual. You want to pay attention to all the areas of your training, so definitely don't be shy and stop by Nutrition Geeks as well. So I wish you all the best. I'll talk to you all in the next video. Continue to stay focused on your training and keep me posted. I'll talk to you all in the next video.